Yeah.
Everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. So, your birth and I myself, Bitika, have organized a little seminar for everybody today here. It would be great if I could see everybody on screen and we could make it a little more interactive.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good, good.
Good,
How are you?
great, great. Okay. So, something really fruitful that is going to come out of this session by the end of it, I'm sure, for everybody. Okay. So, let's get into it. So most conversations around pregnancy and motherhood focuses on physical changes, but the emotional transition is equally powerful and it's usually taken sidelines on. So today through this seminar, we will explore how emotional focus therapy or EFT can help women or their partners as well navigate emotional core experiences. So before we get into it, I would like to know what all your expectations are from today's seminar. What are you expecting? What do you think is going to be happening here today? Anybody?
I have attended an EFT session and hence I'll avoid speaking, but I know this is a tap
Oh,
therapy. Yeah.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah, same here. I have also attended EFT in the past, and yeah, only good things are going to come from it. That's all. I don't want to spoil it for the rest.
Okay, great, lovely. What else?
Some more
Anybody else?
information here as well. Like basically, I think it's going to help us release all the negativity or the negative thoughts. Basically, what happens is we we get more negative. We are 70% negative always in life and 30% positive. So this will help us to build up the positivity more and fight
Right.
with the
Great
negativity.
great way to put it.
Thank you.
Anybody else who wants to take over? Okay, great. Lovely views I got from all of you. So I think a lot of you are aware of the gist of EFT or emotion focused therapy, basically. But I'm still going to invite you all into this process where we are going to basically cover all about what EFT basically brings when it comes to our emotional regulation and when it comes to understanding that how we're going to tap on these particular acupuncture points. First, before I get into what we're doing and why we're doing this, I want to understand from all of you that do you understand the concept of what basically acupuncture or acupressure is? Okay,
Yes.
I think most of you have an idea of what we're talking about here, right? Great. Okay. So acupuncture or acupressure is basically a kind of a Chinese medication or medicine where there are 4,000 acupressure points in our body where we press on and release certain kind of pressure. So today EFT is going to focus on 14 of those points in our body, surface level of our skin, where when we tap on those particular points, we start to release certain level of cortisol and pressure and release and administer our own emotions. So when we talk about EFT, it's majorly backed up with attachment theory. That's why it works wonders with couples and as well as on individual levels as well. And compared to other modalities of therapy, EFT has shown to be 70 to 73% of recovery rate in just 10 to 12 sessions. Okay, so I know it might sound like a voodoo magic trick, but today we're going to do that and we're going to do it together and see what actually happens and comes out of it. Okay, now we are wired for connection. Basically, what it means that, so let me give you an idea that attachment is created when we get to know that our brain is functioning in a certain way and we create an attachment to certain emotions, basically. What we experience emotions like anger, blame, resentment, frustration, all those are secondary emotions. It's very important for us to understand this. It's coming on the surface level, but we don't go into the primary level of our emotions, which are coming from the surface levels of fear, sadness, loneliness, or the feeling of I'm not good enough, or I'm not doing right, or I should be working in a different direction. When we are able to make this connection that it's coming from these primary emotions, that's when we're able to get out of our negative cycles or circles. Okay, so how to understand? First comes the awareness. What is happening to me? Why am I feeling this kind of frustration or anger in my body? Is it because there are certain emotions that have been left in and that I'm not addressing? And EFT helps you to address them. Okay. So there are a couple of things. It reduces cortisol in the body, and So I'm going to go a little neurological in the way, but I'll try not to use a lot of jargons here. So the hippocampus and the amygdala both works together, and EFT helps them to reduce the cortisol in our body. Okay. Any questions as of now? Okay, great. So, we have talked about basically secondary and primary emotions. It's very important. And a lot of times when I talk to people, they tell me, okay, what are the primary emotions? When we talk about emotions, a lot of time people are not even able to label the emotions. They are very confused at times what to say. They say, I don't know what I feel. I don't understand this feeling. So, not being able to label it is also one of the concerns that a lot of people face. So, EFT helps you to label that. Let your body accept and be aware of what is happening to you, right? Okay. Okay. So the negative cycle that I talked about and why it's really helpful for our couples therapy sessions, because there will always be a loop of one of the partner will be in the pursuer state where they are criticizing or complaining or putting across what they're feeling is not right or they want to talk about it. But because of all that pressure, the other partner can go into the withdrawer state where they are going into the distances, they are shutting it down, they are telling ourselves that, no, I don't want to interact, maybe I should skip it, I should avoid it. So they go into the withdrawing state. Now, again, the circle doesn't mean that we're going to label our partners. It's completely on our own basis to understand that you're stuck in this cycle and how to get out of this cycle. So EFT assists and helps you to get out of this cycle basically. Okay. Now, when we talk about EFT goes in three stages. Why we're talking or discussing about what EFT is, why we're going to do this, why we're understanding the science behind it. Because first comes the awareness. Once you're able to name your emotions, name the cycle, or name what is happening to you, then only you can go into the second phase of the EFT, which is the restructuring. So EFT is going to help you to administer and see whether you are able to identify or not and promote acceptance in your partners or yourself, new experiences. And then comes the third phase of consolidation. With all the information that you gain, your body starts to consolidate and try to make new changes. So we unhook the old patterns and we rehook the new ones. Okay, before we go into the primary emotions, what all emotions as mothers or as partners do you feel that comes a lot in your structure, or at times you feel that this is the emotion that is taking a power of on you?
Anxiety.
Anxiety,
Yeah, there's lack of clarity, so there's fear.
fear,
What if things don't go my way?
correct. What else?
Uncertainty.
Overthinking.
Uncertainty,
Overthinking.
overthinking. Anything
I
else?
guess self-doubt.
Yeah, please tell me.
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt, correct. Correct. So all things that you just label anxiety, uncertainty, overthinking, self-doubt, somewhere or the other, these again are secondary emotions, and the primary emotion that's stepping behind it is fear. When you think about it, it's rooting from our nervous system where we're feeling fear of maybe losing something, or maybe not being good enough, or maybe, how will things turn out to be. So there are certain levels of fear that we have in ourselves. EFT does not help you to understand fear is a negative emotion or fear is something that you need to run away or get rid of. EFT helps you to understand fear is a protective layer of yourself. EFT helps you to administer it and walk through it. So when we talk about fear, there could be different layers of fear that you feel. It could be fear of loss, it could be fear of, pregnancy related when it comes to labor or delivery. It could be fear of what if I'm not good enough, what if I'm not able to cater to my responsibilities, what if I'm taking a step on myself, am I losing myself? All these fears start to come in when it comes to motherhood, and we're going in this journey specifically. So how EFT helps? It's basically creating both attachment system and a survival brain. So the mother should understand that there are two roles that she's catering. We're helping her to understand how to build internal safety before being external caregiver. Because if we jump into the caregiver role and not create an internal safety for ourselves, then we will be skeptical and fearful of our decisions and steps that we take. So, on the surface level, we have to create that strong foundation. Another emotion that we feel a lot is guilt. There could be guilt of maybe not being supportive to my partner, the guilt of not being there, available for them. There could be guilt of social pressure. There could be guilt of internal standards that we've created for ourselves. There could be a lot of reasons that you might feel guilty within. So, how to cater to those expectations and shoulds in ourselves? So the guilt that we're talking about is coming from a toxic guilt that is like I am the mistake, I can't repair myself. That's where it is rooting in, and that's where it creates a problem for us. But being a healthy responsibility, for example, where you see I made a mistake, I can repair it. So you're taking the responsibility over that guilt. How does this happen? This transition happens through when we work in EFT integration, where we build security for the individual. We let them have the space that it's okay to make mistakes. Sometimes we are in such a rush every day, everything we're doing is going on in a high speed. We don't realize that going slow or making mistakes is also normal. So, creating that safe environment itself is highly essential. And lastly, one of the most important things that we cater to is identity shift. Like one of you just mentioned, that we have self-doubt. Who am I now? What is happening to me? Am I losing track of something? All these questions start to arise in. When we talk about identity shift, you start to ask yourself that you're not the self that you were, but there is a different self that you're becoming. And you try to juggle yourself between these two selves. What EFT does is it creates a journey that, yes, you were who you were in the past, and what you're becoming is the wiser one of yourself. So, a major concept of EFT that we do while we are tapping, why it's called that EFT tapping is something that can be done on self level as well in your own space. Sometimes, when you're not working on traumatic memories, you can do it in your own space once you've understood how to be following the norms. Why is that? Why are we able to do that on ourselves? Why do we not need a professional? Because we all have wisdom within us, and we're just reaching out to that wisdom. That wisdom will tell you always what is the right and what is the wrong, and we're only reaching out to that wisdom. Any doubts up till now? Any questions? Okay, let's move on. Right. So this is basically a gist of what EFT is. Here we are repeating certain phrases, certain words where we're emphasizing on certain emotions, whether it's fear, whether it's negative emotion, specifically any kind, or whether it's a negative self-belief that maybe I'm not good enough or I don't like certain things right now. So it could be anything, but we're repeating that phrase or that word again and again to create a environment that it's okay. Acceptance is necessary. Then we create some metaphors or words around it to create a picture that, for example, it feels like a wall. It feels like I'm stuck. So letting it know that what I'm feeling to myself. Sometimes we also let our body let speak for us that what kind of phrases or words are coming in, what metaphor, maybe what metaphor you're feeling could be completely different for the other person. So letting yourself have that space. That's why we also let people and clients share what they're feeling. While we're tapping, sometimes I let my clients especially come and say that, okay, if you want to take over, while we tap, you use your words. You tell me what you're feeling, what is happening to you right now. So we repeat, there are certain images and metaphors that we use. There is a simple phrasing of the EFT practice that we will do, which you will see in by the end of our seminar, because we want to keep it simple for the person itself. They shouldn't feel that, okay, we are using too many jargons when we're tapping on certain things, and it should feel more relatable. Another thing to be kept in mind is it's a slow pace. So on these 14 acupuncture points, you'll be tapping for 7 times at least. It could be slow, it could be fast, it could be with 2 fingers, it could be with 3 fingers. Whatever is your pace, whatever is your comfort, we do from that. Then the tone should be soft. The tone should make you feel calm and relaxed. The tone shouldn't be high. We also advise people to keep a glass of water when they're doing EFT because sometimes emotions pent up in the body. It starts to show as physical changes. And by having a glass of water, sometimes your body settles down. It lets you feel certain emotions on a deeper level. Okay. Okay. And when we talk about EFT, of course, it's an integration, it's not isolation. It's a very big difference when it comes to EFT because we are not going to isolate who you were or who you are. We're going to integrate your identities. We're going to create that, yes, who you are today, you have reached here only on the basis of what all happened and what is happening to you right now. So we try to make it a collaboration of every experience that you've had. And there are times when we are doing EFT, a lot of memories come in. Memories maybe from the past, memories from maybe last month that happened to you. It's very natural to go into a memory. And if you feel that that memory has created that certain kind of negative emotion for you, maybe it's time for us to make it go into a different direction. Maybe we need to see that situation or that scenario from a different lens. When we do that, the emotions that were felt in those moments, they taper down. You start to release. You start to release the pain, you start to release the tension in your body, and you start to feel much more acceptable of the fact that, okay, this happened. So, integration is a major part of EFT. Okay. Now, we have talked about it a lot, so we have to practice it. And because we're going to do it, so I'm also going to do it, and I hope you all join with me so that the only person who will look weird will be the one who is not tapping. Okay, so let's come on camera, everybody, and let's try to do a little demo session for today. Okay, so we will pick on any emotion or any, let's say, statement that's coming for you. Okay, so we're going to start with our karate chop point. This is called the karate chop point here. You can tap with 1 finger, 2 finger, or 3 fingers, whichever is comfortable, right? And there is a setup statement that we try to form in the beginning of the of our EFT practice. It could be, let's say, for example, even though I feel this negative emotion right now, or even though I feel this stress in my body right now, I choose to release and feel relaxed. Okay. It could be different for all of you. Today, let's pick up whatever emotion you're feeling right now. Maybe it could be stress, it could be fear, it could be self-doubt. Pick on anything and let's start tapping on that. Okay, so we're going to start with your karate chop point, even though I want you guys to repeat on your own pace, okay? I'm feeling the stress in my body. I'm open to relax and release, even though I had a long day today. I am open to release and relax my body, even though this fear or this stress takes a toll on me. I love and accept myself. Next is the top of the head. This stress, this fear. You can choose to tap with both hands or you can choose to tap with one hand. Inner corner of your eyebrow, this stress. Outer corner of your eyebrow, on your temples. I want to release this stress from my body. Under the eye, above the nose, below the lip, on your collarbone, under the arm, on the side of your rib cage. Corner of your nail, index finger nail, middle fingernail, ring fingernail, little fingernail. Coming back to the karate chop. There is a point between your little finger and ring finger knuckle. Hold that point. It's called the gamut point. Hold it. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. I want you to look straight. I want you to move your eyes clockwise, slowly, as if you're looking at the time. Now, anti-clockwise. Look at, without moving your head, look at your left corner. Without moving your head, look at right corner. Again left. Again right. Again close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Release through your mouth. Okay. Slowly open your eyes. Okay, I want to know what all reflections, what are you feeling right now? How was that for you?
I just feel light. It just
It
feels
feels
light,
light.
light and relaxed, as if the weight has been lifted off the shoulder.
Amazing. Great.
Yeah,
What else?
it feels really relaxing now.
It feels relaxing. It feels light. Burden has taken off. What else? What all are you guys feeling?
There
Slightly
was some.
giddy at one point. We felt
I'm
giddy
sorry.
when we had to do the whole clockwise, anti-clockwise. Felt a bit giddy to do that.
It felt giddy.
Yeah, some sensations were ongoing, so there was something which was happening around. That's what could understand. But yeah, feeling a little relaxed.
Good, good. Now I want you all to focus and go back and notice while you were tapping, while you were in this process, how much overthinking or how much negative thought pattern was taking place.
Nothing in my case somehow. No thoughts came during the process.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Prior the session, probably the intensity was around 7 or 8 for fear and anxiety, and
And
now the
currently,
intensity I can say around 5.
beautiful. So this is the beautiful impact of EFT that you've seen, and we've only done this one round.
Yeah, like was for us,
Normally,
we didn't
yeah,
felt like was any overthinking was going on in my mind because the focus was mainly on the tapping thing. So I think the focus got shifted.
correct, correct. So for a lot of people, maybe the tapping at the points works. For some people, the bilateral stimulation, whether it's the tapping or whether it's the eye movement, that works a lot. So it depends on the individual. Now, if we were in individual sessions, I would be taking on from that. For some people, like you mentioned, it was giddy, right? The eye movement was a little giddy. Maybe it felt a little weird. And it felt like what is happening. For some of you, maybe tapping worked better. So taking on individually whichever technique works best for you, I will pick it up from there and we structure our sessions like that. So today's demo session, I wanted to give you a highlight into this was just us doing one round of EFT. Imagine doing it recurrently. Your system, your mind starts to take up, okay, there are different ways to process our emotions. At times, it will also resist. For example, a lot of time you might have created certain goals for yourself. I want to work out, I want to start doing this from next Monday. It doesn't happen because your system always want to go back to the old habits. If you get some time after the session of after the seminar, try to Google Hebb's law. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
What is this? What is the exact word?
Hebb's law. Hebb's Hebb's law.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will basically talk to you about how our mind goes into that barrier. It becomes very difficult for us to go into the new transitions. So rehooking to the new ways. Your mind will tell you 101 reasons why you should go back to, feeling all those negative emotions and processing it the way you used to do it. But now you have something new. So telling yourself that maybe this is the right way, every time you'll have to push yourself. That's why EFT statements are coming from the place that maybe, I wonder, I choose. If you saw when we started with the beginning sentence, there were even though, so the statement even though. All these give us hope basically that okay, even though I'm feeling certain emotions, maybe I can choose to let go of them. So creating the possibility makes it easier comparatively being that no, I'm going to feel this way next time. Does that make sense to all of you? Okay. So then, like I told you, according to the individual, we have certain structured way of going in EFT, depending on what the individual is suffering through or what are the issues they're facing, or is it generally just they want to feel more regulated on daily basis. So depending on that, we cater to a framework, we create a framework with the client, however they want to proceed. And in those sessions, that we work on those core experiences or memories, or it could be emotions, whatever the pattern they want to build. By creating that attachment pattern, they see huge differences in their relationships, in their daily activities, daily functioning, and they see a major improvement. Okay. So, what you gain out of this, you basically gain more awareness, you gain more emotional regulation, you gain that you see that you are able to go through difficult situations on a different level, that you understand that, okay, I have myself. Before catering to other people, I can refer to myself for this. I can attend these and create a stability for myself. Okay. Any questions before we go into what is happening and what were the experiences? I want to have any questions, anything that you would like to ask or understand better from my end. No questions. That's amazing. That's the first time, I think. No questions at all. Okay, great. So, no questions. Anybody would like to share any reflections or experiences or anything that they themselves felt through EFT? Anything they want to share here?
So I am practicing EFT off and on. I'll be very honest, it's not regular. But when I'm extremely overwhelmed, stressed, so I have this habit of kind of waking up in the morning, going to the balcony because there's sunlight, etc. So it makes you feel better. So I kind of
Hmm.
pray and do EFT. I'll be honest, I may be missing out on some points. I remember all the facial points and the one, but there could be this that I may not be doing. But it makes you feel very nice, it kind of, at least for the 10 minutes or 5 minutes that you're doing it, it takes your mind off things. It helps you kind of face your negative emotion, because typically we've gotten into the habit of manifestation,
Yeah.
positivity, etc. So it's like, we are kind of putting a blanket over everything, which is not always right. You really need to, there are times when you really need to kind of come out there and say, okay, face your emotions, say that it is negative and it's fine for me to feel it. So yeah, it's helped me quite a bit. I've gone through certain personal tragedies, so yeah, it has made quite a lot of difference for me there. I don't do it regularly maybe, but I do it whenever I feel overwhelmed.
Beautiful, Tripti. I love to hear more about it. So these are certain reflections that make you understand that, okay, what EFT is actually doing on an individual level. So I would just like to share, just add up on what Tripti just said. So for some people, when they're tapping, they release certain emotions and they start to cry. And that's completely normal. That's your body releasing certain energies, your body getting to understand it's okay that I was maybe blaming myself for certain things for so many years, which is not actually my fault. So it gives you a lot of revelations when it comes to, yourself, your processing, your emotions. Anybody else who would like to share or reflect?
So basically, even I've been practicing EFT since a good time, and like Trupti really said, whenever you really feel down, what happens basically, what I understand is we are always ready to load ourselves. So
Hmm.
basically, this technique, what I understand, this helps us to release and this helps us to feel light. And I've been practicing it since last good 3 years. Again, not regular to it, but whenever I have any sessions or whenever I feel too heavy. So I practice and it really helps. You will not get to know the difference immediately at the same time. It takes time. So there are multiple practices which requires and it makes wonders. I have seen that.
Nice, lovely. Thank you so much, Jyoti. So, yeah, it does take time. Sometimes for some people, certain emotions open up or some memories get resolved over the period, next 4 or 5 days, when they actually see that, okay, this is working, I'm getting used to this process. Because initially, our mind and our system, our nervous system is used to doing certain things that we were doing before. This is something
Exactly.
new. So it takes time. It takes maybe days for somebody, it takes weeks, it takes months as well, but it happens and
It
there is a
helps
huge
to build the
change.
patience levels also. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but
No
yeah, it
worries.
helps you to build the patience level too.
Yeah, correct. And a lot of times there are different signs of how EFTs may be working. For example, a lot of clients go through constipation maybe because of system being irritable, or there are different reasons. And while they do EFT, they see that their digestive system is getting regulated. They see that it's easier for them to go to the loo. So this is also a sign that EFT is working for your body and your body is also accepting it. Okay,
Right. Thank
great. So before we close, I would also just like to bring a little more awareness why this seminar was basically important and why we did this today. Because before becoming a caregiver, it's very necessary to understand your own emotions and how you're able to regulate it so that the pressure doesn't feel like, okay, I don't know how to handle myself and I have whole new another situation coming in for me. So it gives you more hand-on responsibility basically. So whenever you feel that this is happening, you can always reach out. You can always search and look for different modalities and search on YouTube maybe. But with a professional guidance, I would advise go for EFT and try it. It works wonders. Okay, great.
Thanks, Ritika.
Thank you
Ritika,
so much.
um,
Thank you so
Yes.
much
Thank
for your
you.
time.
is it possible to do a little bit more, maybe more rounds of EFT so they can explain it
Sure,
more?
sure, sure, sure.
Thank you.
So, sure, sure, sure. So, let's do another round of EFT. Okay. Uh, I want one of you to pick on any emotion that you're feeling right now, maybe, or any thought that is coming in. Anything for anybody? Okay, maybe we work on individual levels and let's create again this feeling. Maybe there is a thought that is coming to your mind. There is some stress, there is some fear that is coming in. So let's start on that. Okay. Even though I have this stress, I wonder if I can choose to tell the story in a different way. Even though this feeling is uncomfortable, I still love and honor myself. Even though this feeling of uncomfort, I let it go and choose to relax. On the top of your head, this stress, this fear. On your forehead, in my body, on your temple. I choose to release it. I already feel lighter under your eye. I feel healthy under your nose, below your lip. This stress on your collarbone, this stress underarm, you can choose to tap like this as well, bilateral stimulation. On the tip of your nail, this stress. I feel the intensity going lower. My body is open to relax. My body is open to learn new things. My body feels relaxed. Hold the gamut point. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Move your eyes clockwise, anti-clockwise. On your left without moving your head. On your right. Again left. Again right. Close your eyes. Breathe. Slowly open your eyes. Again top of your head. On your forehead. Any thoughts or any memories that are coming in, I welcome. I want you to notice every fiber in your body. How does it feel while you tap? Keep taking a tap of your breathing on your temple, under eye, above your lip, below your lip, on the collarbone, underarm, hold the gamut point, close your eyes, take 2 deep breaths in and release through your mouth. Slowly open your eyes. Now, for Jyoti, I want to know the scale which was maybe 7 and after tapping went to 5. How is it right now for you?
Hi, sorry. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Can say the intensity's gone around 3 or 2 maybe. I'm feeling light over my body and also I'm feeling a little sleepy kind of.
Good, good. That's a good sign. Again, whenever you're feeling yawning or sleepy, that means your body has resolved a lot of emotions, a lot of memories that the body needs to rest now. That's also a
Right.
very good sign. And usually we work in one session, we work from the scale of 10 to 3 to 2 itself because we don't want the range to completely go very heavy for the client itself. Okay.
Right.
So for rest of you, how do you feel when it comes to tapping? Now, this was the second round. How was that for all of you?
I felt like I was yawning. I was feeling sleepy. So in the middle, actually started yawning.
Good.
And for us, it was we feel more relaxed, but like resolving emotion, I don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for that, we cannot say, but yeah, we are feeling very relaxed and yeah, for sure, light.
Resolving emotions. When we talk about resolving emotions, what were the emotions initially when you started tapping?
Uh, mm, the thought which I like, there were two things running in my mind, but I chose that we need to resolve whatever conflicts we had,
Mm-hmm.
the small,
Mm-hmm.
small conflicts that we need to resolve. That
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that at that
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Now, why this wasn't resolved? Because maybe it was a little too vague. why we go into the setup statement, we
Okay.
try to make it as simple as possible. So either it's
Okay.
a major, like a thought connected to, okay, this was the conflict and that's what we're working on,
Okay.
or this was the emotion that we're working on. That's why maybe the
So basically, we
resolution
need to
was
pinpoint exact
correct, correct. Yeah.
exact feeling
Because
or
when we
something.
say the
Okay.
little conflicts, it becomes a little too vague. So there must be a lot
Mm-hmm.
of memories running in your mind while you were tapping. That's
Mm-hmm.
why the resolution was less.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. What else? Who else wants to share or reflect a little bit? How did it feel? Or I think people have started like closing their cameras.
I
Yeah, so I just wanted to add like the first time I wasn't able to focus as much. But the
Mhm.
second time I definitely feel more lighter.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I think I walked into the session with a lot on my mind, which is why. So yeah, I'm just glad. I see that with repetition, it gets better. That's what it's shown me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when you get the gist of what is happening, what I'm doing, it becomes easier. You get a hold of it. And like I said, you need to pinpoint what you're thinking about. You can't be having a lot of things on your mind and then going in, because then it becomes clouded. So we want to pick on one thing, whichever you want to work on, and then we go deeper into it. Okay. Anybody else who would like to share what was happening for them? How do they feel?
After the process, I was feeling relaxed and light.
Hmm.
And I mean, the emotion which I started with was uneasiness in the body, and then that was there. But while the process, there was no other thought which was going on. It was just the process which was there.
Hmm. And how much uneasiness went down?
I don't know if I can specify a percentage, but I think maybe say by 2-3 points it went down.
Okay, okay, good. So there could be a possibility for some people who might have felt like, okay, things didn't work out maybe. How many of you, can you raise your hands and tell me that how many of you felt like it didn't work for me or I didn't feel any resolution per se? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't feel that way. Especially the first round, I didn't feel anything. I'll
Okay.
be honest. The second round, I felt a bit more, but I wouldn't say throughout the entire process. There were one or two
By
points,
the end of,
especially at the end when we did the closing of eyes and deep breathing.
hmm,
So that was a huge relaxation point for me, and even we did the temple side. So I think
yeah.
there. But the I feel a little uneasy or weird because just after
Hmm,
doing it, I felt good.
yeah.
Now again, I feel like a little, I don't know how to explain it other than a physical symptom of, like sickness. Like you feel a little
Right.
uneasy yeah.
Right, right, right. Like I said, it's very natural to go into this loop because a lot of times our logical or practical mind is pushing in that what is happening? How can my fear go away with just tapping? So a lot of practical logic comes in. One of the client asked me that if we working on fear, let's say, and we're tapping on fear, does it mean that my fear will be gone forever? No. So, for example, if you have fear of height and you're trembling when you're standing in front of the back balcony, it's not like after tapping, your fear will completely be gone and you will be ready to jump off the balcony. No, it's going to be like the initial phase of that where you were trembling, where you were feeling completely uneasy, you were sweating it out. All those symptoms get to be relaxed. So the initial level of fear that every human has, that will be there. So it takes time to resolve. It takes time to understand that this process can also be catered to. It takes time to understand, okay, certain emotions I need to work on them. There must be some resistance coming in when it comes cognitively. You are telling yourself that maybe this is not how I want to work on it. So something or the other must be going on while you were tapping, right? If you can reflect on it, there must be some thoughts around that. Um, this is not more of a structured way of processing my emotions I want to go forward with. So some level of resistance might be coming in. Even if you were into the process, there must be some logical thinking that might be stepping in. And it takes some time to get into the process. That's what we've seen a lot. So in the next round, when you said that tapping on the temple or even the deep breathing exercise, that helped for you. So that means for you, guided meditation would be a better option than just tapping. So if we were individually going forward, we would be going into the guided meditation where we would practice like visualization, guided visualization, and meditation and relaxation. Then we would go into the tapping procedure. Okay, great. Anybody else who wants to share anything? Okay, great. So I feel today's seminar was very fruitful. I think every one of you are taking away something or the other from the session today. Just think about what we've talked about today and go over the facts. Maybe you can Google around things, what we've discussed today. You can search about it a little more, see if it is intriguing you, what is the aspect that intrigues you more, or what are the issues or situations that you or memories that you would like to work on. And if you think that this is something that would cater to you or help you out, we can always reschedule and do this again. Okay. Great. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have
for
a
the
nice
class.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.